Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Halo Effect. As usual, I am your host, Robert Lockhart. Hey, let's talk some baseball, huh? Wow, not the most auspicious start to the season, is it? Losing 3 out of 4 your first series of the season, losing to Baltimore, losing to Boston, losing to Tampa Bay. Let me tell you something. If you're losing to Tampa Bay, without their strong starting pitching, they're still missing 2 of their better starting pitchers, both McClanahan and Boz. And not to mention they're still missing Rasmussen and there's another left-handed pitcher that they have that's not exactly coming to mind right now. I do sincerely apologize, but even the smartest baseball people will forget things from time to time. But they're still missing those guys, and you're losing 2 out of 3. You're losing 2 out of 3 to Boston. They're still not the strongest team in the world. They're off to a bit of a hot start. Their offense, they do have a good offensive team, but their pitching is still kind of up in the air. These are teams you should be taking 2 out of 3 if you're looking to contend. That's not a good start. It's really not a good sign either. The Angels collectively are hitting .232 as a team, batting average, and hitting .232 with runners in scoring position. That's not good. Collective on base is .314. You got Mike Trout hitting over 300 now. You got, Logan O'Hoppy's hitting 350 something thus far. Everyone else is batting very subpar. Mickey Moniak, who had a huge season last year, batting .280 for the season, is batting below 200. This isn't good. Ward is batting about 260, 270 something. That's not good for him either. Actually, I can check for you right now what he's batting. I'll be right with you. My apologies. Taylor Ward's actually batting .306. I sincerely apologize. Okay, so you got 3 guys who are hitting over 300 and the rest are batting subpar. This is not the best thing in the world. I will say I'm surprised with Miguel Sano. He's batting around the 260 area. I think that's pretty good for him. He's usually batting in like the 2 teens, 220s. Major power, not the best hitter in the world. But these days he's putting the ball in play, striking out less, and that leads to more hits, so that's good for him. But again, O'Hoppy's batting under 200. Hicks didn't have the best start to the season after a dynamite spring. Adele is Adele, getting hits every now and again. Hit his first home run today, his first home run of the season. He's actually had a multi-hit game this year, if you can believe that. I'm stunned. Believe me, I'm stunned. This is his first multi-hit game in a very long time. Again, not good. For a guy who was number 1 pick for the Angels, not the number 1 overall, but number 10 overall, their first round pick, a top 10. You expect, anywhere around 285 and up. You're not getting that from Joe Adele. You never have, and you probably never will. But if you can get anywhere close between 260 and 270, at least you can get a fraction of what he was thought to be. That adds value. That's good enough value. And you kind of move on from there. But still, Johnny Washington was brought in to bring this team's batting average up and get them hitting better. They're not hitting much better than they did last year with runners in scoring position. You still got, Moniak still trying to pull the ball all the time. He can't do that. To start pitching outside, you continue to pull the ball, you hit little squibbers on the ground, or you strike out. Not good. Can't have that. Ugh. Collectively, they're pitching. Not spectacular. I mean, Barry Enright, I still have hopes that you can bring this pitching staff back to being better. Detmers has looked good. I've liked what Detmers has brought to the table. Looks like he may have corrected everything that Anderson had messed up last year. Therefore, hey, perhaps no crack. Oh no, yay! Always a good thing. So, if he's got them doing better, he could probably get everyone else doing better too. I liked Sandoval's second start. His last start did get knocked around a little bit. Took the loss because his offense was not helping him out. Can't have that. Guys, you got to hit. You got to hit. You got to get on base, and you got to do things much better than this. I know that Ron Washington is stressing that extra base, the small ball stuff, but small ball only happens when you get on base. A collective on base percentage of 314 will not do that. That has to change. Your collective on base percentage should be somewhere closer to 380 and 390. At the very least, if not over 400, I prefer over 400. Should be your collective on base percentage. Your best person, your best hitters on base percentage should be anywhere from 80 to 100 points higher than his batting average. So Ohapi's on base percentage is somewhere clearing over 400. I'm hoping Trout's is over 400. I'm sure that Taylor Ward's is close to a 400 on base. So, that's really what you're looking for. You really want to model those three guys. And, guys like Moniak, I'm sure he'll probably pick it up later within the next few weeks. I'm praying to God because I really want to see this guy do good. I'm hoping that Aaron Hicks comes out of his little funk, and I'm hoping that Joe Adell actually ups his value so we can use him as a trade piece. You want to be able to utilize what you have if you're not going to contend. You want to be able to utilize what you have to be able to bring in what you do absolutely need. I mean, you're looking at third place at best right now, and that's if Seattle doesn't overtake you. Again, the Angels are going to be duking it out for third place with Seattle. That's how it looks. I'm not happy with how Silseth has started the season. I mean, 0-2, he's looked horrible. I mean, he looked so good in the spring. He looked great. Ever since the start of the season, he's gotten knocked around big time. It's like, jeez, what the hell happened to you? What is this, a tale of two Silseths? What's going on? Anyway, regardless. You look at what we do have. Sandoval, again, is up and down. He's always up and down. My guess is he's probably getting frustrated again. Dude, Pat, calm down. Calm down. Focus. You're better than this. Griffin Canning had a great spring, and now all of a sudden he's getting knocked around too. Like I said, Reed Detmers has looked good. I liked what Reed Detmers has done the last couple of games that he's pitched. I like what Tyler Anderson's kind of brought to the table this year. Like I said, looks like he's maybe turned the table. He's only 2 starts into the season, so let's give it a month or two to see whether he really has, corrected the mistakes. If he's back to 2022 Tyler Anderson, hey, all right, that's good. We want that. Silseth's got to do better. Canning's got to do better. And Pat, calm down. Relax. Pitch your game. You're better than this. Down on the farm. Where are the Angels got on the farm right now? Let's see. I haven't seen Caden Dana make his first start yet. Well, I'm sure he probably has. I just haven't seen the stats yet. I'm looking. I'm keeping an eye on him. Uh, apparently, a very promising starting pitcher getting ready to possibly make his major league debut this year in Jack Kachanovich. Oh my God. Wow, did he get his ass beat? Oh my God, I think he got to maybe 3 innings before they had to pull him due to mercy. This guy in 3 innings, I believe, gave up about 7 or 8 runs. Oof. Uh, Got Victor Medeiros, who had a really good spring for the Angels, didn't fare much better. He got knocked around pretty hard too. Wow. Ouch. Oh my God. Uh, Nelson Rada off to a bit of a slow start. I wouldn't worry about too much about him. Uh, Again, I like Nelson Rada as a solid contributor eventually in the big leagues. A good leadoff hitter, a great center fielder. Um, I wouldn't consider him much of a game changer, though. He'll be a solid player, but he's not like a captain, not a team leader. He's definitely a solid contributor, though. I'll give him that. I'll like what he brings to the table. Something for the Angels to really kind of uh, build upon. That's decent. I like that. Uh, I will say I'm a little disappointed with Nolan Shanuel so far this year. I mean, touted as a great hitter, he's barely hit anything this year so far, and that's really troubling to me. So far, it's looking like only Logan O'Hoppy's really taken that next step, and Shanuel hasn't really taken it. Modiak looks like he's regressing. Zach Neto, again's up and down, spike and valley a lot. Can't have that. I mean, I'm looking for these guys to, at the very least, each one of them be batting 275 and up, for the season. That's what I'm looking for this year from all four of those guys. Already I'm seeing, the megastar Mike Trout, being megastar Mike Trout. It's already looking like he's back to his MVP form. 6 home runs already on the season, tied for the league lead, if not, at least in second place. Because I know Tyler O'Neill for Boston has been killing the ball too a lot lately. But again, like I said, Mike Trout's looking like MVP Mike Trout. That's a good thing. Rendon off to a slow start, 0 for 19 to start the season, but he's been actually hitting the ball really well thus far lately. But I've never worried about him hitting the ball. I've worried about him staying on the field. And I'm just, call me pessimistic if you want. I call myself realistic. And I'm waiting for the news report saying Anthony Rendon has hurt himself again and he's out for the season. I'm guessing it's probably going to come late May, early June. That would be my guess. And for the most part, it's just what I expect. Like I said, call me pessimistic if you want. I'm hoping he proves me wrong. I really hope I'm proven wrong on that one. Please let me be proven wrong. At least give me a full season if we're paying you $37 million. Again, it's, wow, insane. Keeping up on research with some of the other players. Let's see. Jared Walsh made the roster for Texas, and he's been hitting pretty well. I mean, he's batting about 286 right now after an 0 for 2 game tonight. Walked twice though, didn't strike out. That's always a good thing. Yeah, Walsh is always at his best when he's not striking out very much. As long as he's putting the ball in play, he's getting on base, a lot of the time. So it's always a good thing. David Fletcher did not make the Braves roster, but, I mean, what do you expect? Take a look at the Braves roster. Look who he's competing with. My God, that entire infield, he doesn't stand a chance against that infield. I mean, Orlando Arcia's finally become the player that the Brewers thought he would be, and he's killing it really well. He's getting on base a lot. He's stealing a lot of bases. His defense is doing really well. Ozzie Albies, I love Fletch, but he's not Ozzy Albies. And Fletch is not going to play third or first. So, I mean, he can play third, but Austin Riley's the prototypical third baseman and future, one of the biggest future pieces that the Braves have to offer. And let's see, 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", David Fletcher versus 6'4", 6'5", Matt Olson, Gold Glove caliber first baseman, and a 40 home run a season potential kind of guy. No, that ain't gonna happen. Fletch can play the outfield, but take a look at the all-star outfield that the Braves have to offer. That's just not going to happen. So he started the year in the minors, had a rough few first games. He threw out the first games, and this season he's batting .318. Technically he's batting .235, but like I said, throw out the first few games of the season. His last 6 to 7 games he's been batting over 300. That's David Fletcher. Batting over 300, getting on base, being a disruptive on the base pass. Do we have anyone like that? No. Well, if Mike Trout gets on base, he's been, really disruptive as of late. Anybody who actually does get on base has been running. I don't know if anybody saw the game today, but the base running blunder that Joe Adele made, had the base stolen easily, forgot to slide. Joe, slide into the base. You don't run into it. You run the risk of running off of it, which you did, and you got tagged out. Numbnuts. Pay attention. Anyway, thus far, I'm not thrilled. I gotta say, I'm very displeased over the first few series of the season. When you're losing 3 out of 4, that's not good. Losing 2 out of 3 games to Baltimore is... I get that. I can understand that. It's Baltimore. They won over 100 games last year. The amount of talent this team has is tremendous. I mean, huge. These guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with for the next 10 years, probably, depending how many of their young talent they get to keep. The guys I believe they keep are going to be Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holliday, Colton Cowser for sure, probably Grayson Rodriguez. Those 4, I believe, are the ones they'll keep for certain. What they get to keep after that will be a toss-up. It really depends what they believe they can keep, what they can get value-wise. But Baltimore is going to be a team to be reckoned with. San Diego was off to a bit of a slow start this year. They're looking to, they just won their first series of the season, and it's looking up for them. It definitely looks like they're starting to really kind of get things rolling. The Dodgers, it's the Dodgers. We all know they're going to be doing well. Yankees are doing really well. Giancarlo Stanton looks like he's finally healthy. He's batting pretty good. He's hitting the ball well. Judge off to a slow start. We know that won't last. He's probably going to be batting closer to 300 by the end of the season with about 40 bombs. Juan Soto for them. Oh my. It's Juan Soto. Did anybody really expect any less? The guy's just monstrous. He's really, really, really good. The kind of contract he's going to command by the end of the season, well, he is a Scott Boras client. We all know he's going to get close to $400 million. Probably close to $400 million, if not more. And my guess he'll probably stay in the Bronx because, the Yankees got the Bucks to do it, and they're going to want to keep him. Hey, that short porch and right, he's a left-handed hitter. Easy to hit it out. So, anyway, other teams that we expected to do really well, like the Cardinals, not looking too good. They're big hitters in Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt, not exactly off to the best start to the season. Nolan Gorman looks like he's starting to regress a little bit. But, I mean, all of this stuff that I'm saying is all predicated on the fact that it's just really early in the season. It's just way too early really to determine anything. The teams that I mentioned that are doing well could easily fall flat. The teams that I mentioned that are doing relatively poorly could probably pick it up majorly and maybe do a lot better. All I'm saying is, for an Angels team that's batting 234 collectively, 232 with runners in scoring position, and a 314 on base team on base percentage, needs to improve. And I mean really improve. That ain't good. Again, early in the season, could get better. Hoping it gets better. I'm praying. Trust me, I'm praying. In the meantime, I will keep abreast of some of the other guys. There's a few relievers in the minor leagues that have pitched in a couple of games that I like. Their best relief prospect in Ben Joyce has pitched in 2 games this far. Only allowed 2 base runners, struck out 2. A guy I've really been looking forward to hopefully being a big contributor for the Angels, and Luke Murphy, a 4th-round pick in 2021. This guy was the closer for Vanderbilt. If you are the go-to closer for Vanderbilt, you're probably pretty good. And he's had a few bumps and bruises, but for the most part, I like what he brings to the table. I think the fact that he's starting off the season in Double-A is not the best thing in the world. I think he should be in Triple-A right now, but that's me. I'm not Angels management. Angels management should probably listen to me, but that's me gloating. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. Mason Erla, who was supposed to be a big starting prospect for the Angels, doesn't look like he's going to be a starter. Looks like he's moved more to a relief role. Moved into the bullpen. Has pitched a couple of innings, flat out 0 ERA, a couple of strikeouts in his own right. This is a guy who I guess could be a really good contributor out of the bullpen if he really focuses on it. That could be a good thing, because again, what I've seen in the bullpen for the Angels and the big club this year has been nothing I'd be mailing home about. But regardless, it is what it is right now. I know Robert Stevenson's progressing. Carson Fulmer was called up to the bigs to be in their bullpen because they moved Jose Soriano to the starting rotation with Silseth on the DL. And Soriano's around the plate, but very flat and got hit hard. Gave up 4 runs in 1 inning. Angels couldn't recover and lost the game today. Not good. He needs to have more movement on his pitches. That's got to change. So, Jose, if you want to be in a major league rotation, you got to put movement on your pitches. And even if you want to be in their bullpen, you have to have your movement on the pitches. Right now, it looks like you're only good for 1 inning. And that's what we kind of looked forward to, is you being a 1-inning guy and really setting things up for a closer. Thus far, I haven't seen it, and that needs to change. I'm going to leave it with that, and I will keep you all abreast of what's going on, not only in the minors, but with how things are going in the majors, around the majors, some of the other prospects that could possibly be coming up to the bigs for other teams, a.k.a. Jackson Holliday, who made his debut tonight. A typical major league debut for a young kid. Remember, he's still very young, if he's even 20 years old yet. But I think he reached base a couple of times. May have been like 0 for 2, 0 for 3. I didn't see the final stats, but Jackson Holliday is going to be a force to be reckoned with in his future. Jackson Churio, who made the roster right out of spring training, mainly because of that big contract that he signed, has looked pretty good thus far for Milwaukee. And again, I'm keeping an eye on a lot of the other guys, a lot of the other young kids who might be coming up to the bigs as well. So, with that, I'm going to say take her easy and go Halos.